Hey, if you've felt like you need to hear something that is encouraging and something that'll help you stay focused to have your best year ever, then you're listening to the right episode of the Loan Officer Leadership Podcast. I am your host, Steve Kiles. We're powered by the Mortgage Marketing Animals. And I just want to take a minute to thank you for being on this journey with us each and every week. It's absolutely the thing I love doing, probably one of the most, it's just so much fun to be here with each one of you each and every week. And I want to do this. I want to continue to encourage you to subscribe, review, and share. So subscribe to the podcast. That way you get the episodes that come directly to you. Review. I would love and be honored if you'd continue to give us great reviews. I appreciate Buckeye Golf just gave us a review and it said, never too late. I wish you guys had been around 25 years ago, but it's never too late. Thanks. And so Buckeye Golf, thank you so much for your awesome review. And I just appreciate each one of you. If you get a minute, I don't ask you to do much. Subscribe, but also review the podcast. It helps us. And then here's the other thing I'd love for you to do is share it with 2 other people you feel like need to be encouraged in today's market. So here's what I wanted to do. I was just on a podcast with someone else a few minutes ago, and in it, I started writing down some things that I just felt like were relevant. I'm a producing branch manager, and so I've got a branch of loan officers all over the country. I produce in my market as well, and then I've got loan officers in so many states. And one of the things that I really did yesterday, we had an all-branch meeting, and I encouraged them, and I know many of you have great branch managers and you're in phenomenal places. And I'm confident you're getting encouragement from the people that you're working with and your managers and who's a part of your branch. And so I just want to do that for you today. You know, one of the things I thought about is what are the 6 things that I'm encouraging my team, my branch, our people, right now. Like literally I spent an hour with them we're on this massive Zoom call, and we're talking about, okay, what's the market at? What are we doing? How are we positioning ourselves? How do I keep fighting whenever I feel like I'm not winning? How do I keep making calls when I feel like I'm getting more no's than yeses? How do I wake up every day motivated to achieve the goal and to achieve your why? Because you're in this business and you want to see a level of success based on the why that's deep down on the inside of you. You know, I was talking to one of my dear friends. She's one of our loan officers, great person. And, you know, she was just telling me her why this morning and said, this is why I do what I do. And she was very personal about what she was doing it for. And I just thought I literally got off and I said, man, girl, that's the reason why you're in this business. And I think whether it's helping a child, whether it's helping your parents, whether it's getting debt free, whether it's having a business of significance, whether it's allowing your income to get your spouse or significant other out of another job or position, what is your why? We've got to know. And so here are the 6 things that I just want to encourage you with today, because we've never in the history of mortgages seen them double so quickly. We've seen them double, but not go from the mid 3s or high 2s, mid 3s to literally the high 5s, and in some cases the 6. And it happened in 3.5 months. We realized that refinances are all but gone, except for cash out refis, which are still an amazing opportunity. We realized there are lenders that are laying off literally thousands of people. We realized there are loan officers who are saying, you know, I was talking to somebody here this last week, did 45 million in 2020, did 40 million in 2021, and literally last month had less than 6 loans in the pipeline. And I'm hearing this from all over. And what I want to encourage you is this: when we're in this business, number one, it's based on mindset. What are you thinking about each and every day? These are the things that I'm confident your branch manager, whoever's leading your teams, are talking about. I want to challenge you. It is now more important than it has ever been to have the right mindset, to literally realize. I love what Carl says, and we say it at our 2-day boot camps and in our Freedom Club meetings. We say it often. It's one of our core phrases is I choose. I did a men's Bible study yesterday morning. We were having a group of men, and I was asked to speak, and I said, I'm happy to do that. And one of the things that we talked about is what Carl talks about all the time. I choose. I choose to not participate in a recession. I choose to not have a down business year in an industry that is down 30 to 50%. I choose to do the right activity that produces the right results because I'm a part of an organization that tracks it and knows that if I do the right activity, I'll get the right results. I choose to walk in every day and lead, even when I don't feel like leading. I choose to get up energized and excited about the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of my branch members, in the lives of my team members, in the lives of my operations people, in the lives of the mortgage marketing animals world, in the lives of the members that are a part of our coaching company, in the lives of our agents, in the lives of everyone in and around me, even when I feel like I am being defeated. You know what? When we're fighting battles, and listen, I think about this. My team and I lost. I bet, man, we're fighting the same battles you guys are. I bet we lost 10 contracts in the last 2 weeks. Thank God we have a lot of contracts coming in. But listen, I choose to wake up every day and recognize that this is not forever. When rates double in 3 months, you're going to have more rate shoppers. Why? People are literally shocked. They cannot believe rates are in the fives when just a few months ago they were not in the fives. And even if you've got great processes and systems, and we do, even if you've got some of the best scripts in the country, and we do, even when you are the first one to answer the phone, and we do, you're still going to have more people rate shop you in today's environment. It's just part of where we're at. But here's the difference. I choose to recognize that even though we're in a unique time, I'm going to do more of the right activity to get the right results. And I choose, most of all, not to quit. I choose to be tethered to a great organization and a great group of other loan officers and coaches at the Marketing Animals that are going to help encourage me, that are going to really be the light and the tether whenever I feel like everything around me is crashing. And I'll tell you this, that you're either moving into a storm, you're in the middle of a storm, or you're going out of a storm. And I will tell you, regardless of where you're at going into that storm, the winds may be blowing, but if you don't quit, you'll win. If you're in the middle of the storm where it seems to be calm, but you can see the analytics and say something's got to move, something's got to change. Or if you're going out of a storm and you're seeing a ray of sunlight, the key is this: mindset matters. Who you're talking to matters. Relationships matter. What you're reading matters. Stop watching the news. Stop watching the pundits. Stop listening to the naysayers. We have to be okay, and we have to acknowledge and recognize where we're at, but we don't have to participate. And that decision is made by, do you choose each and every morning to get up and do right activities over and over again, regardless of how we feel? Number one is mindset. We have to choose to have the right mindset. We have to choose to get up every day and get better. We have to choose that regardless of what everyone's saying, I will double down. I choose. And today is the day. That's it. Mindset. Listen to great books, be around great people. I was around somebody yesterday and it was interesting. All they had to say was negative. I literally found myself trying to get away from them. I'm like, bro, man, it's great to meet you. Good to see you. Awesome. Peace. I'm on to the next. I cannot be around people who don't have a great mindset. Hey, here's something else that you might need to hear. Number 2 is progress over perfection. Progress over perfection. We talk about it all the time where it says anything worth doing is worth doing badly. Just get started. And one of the things that I've recognized and what I've realized is this: we've got to recognize that progress a little bit better each and every day is really the winning formula. I love what James Clear said in his book, Atomic Habits. So many people try to go from 0 to 100 overnight. It would be more effective for us to do 1% to 2% to 3% to 4%. And even if it took us 10 years to get to 100%, that kind of progress would last longer than somebody who goes from 0 to 100 and now trying to figure out how to stay there. Progress over perfection. And one of the things I think about in that and what we're coaching in my branch and with my team is the daily success plan. How are we implementing Monday, Thor's Hammer and Focus 40 calls? How are we implementing our Just Ask Tuesday updates? I'll give you an example, like with me and my team and my branch. literally for the last 2 weeks, I've been meeting with all of our loan partners and all of our operations people and all of our processors and order outs and anybody who's touching files about the importance in today's environment to have progress over perfection. What does that mean? Everybody's going to ask for the business. Everybody's going to learn a new way to say goodbye. Everybody's going to get a little messy and make sure we're touching the lead and touch the partner. We're all going to be saying, hey, our 3x3 friend, family, coworker looking to buy, sell, or refinance. Can you give us their information? We'd love to help them. We've got to work on progress, not perfection, because perfection is an illusion. However, great progress leads to great perfection. It doesn't mean it'll ever be perfect, but man, it gets a lot better when we're focused on progress. So my encouragement number 2, and I think what you may need to hear today is take that step. Progress over perfection. We are not in a perfect environment, but I guarantee you this, if I can get a little bit better today than I was yesterday, my progress over time will get me to where my goals, to where my team's goals, my personal goals, my family goals, my life goals, we will begin to see progress over perfection, 1% better. When you look at your life in 3 to 5 years, you'll say, I cannot believe where we've come from. It is critical that we have the right mindset. We focus on progress, not perfection, because perfection's not attainable, especially in an industry that's constantly evolving. And number 3 is this: we've got to double down on process versus personality. Do not let our organizations be personality driven. Wow, Steve's so great. He's a phenomenal loan officer. Oh my gosh, Betty so-and-so is one of the best loan partners, and she's the only one that can because she loves people and nobody else can ask for the business. No, we're looking for process, not personality. What sustains you in times of change? Listen, I think about Chick-fil-A or McDonald's or some of these great organizations, even an assembly line that develops and designs and then builds automobiles. They don't go in and say, well, listen, man, that person over there putting in that bolt, man, they've got a great personality. No, that person or machine that puts in the bolt does it the same way every time. What they do is they double down on what they know works to get to the end result. So we've got to double down. You don't walk into Chick-fil-A and they say, greet the customer however you want. No, they say, it's my pleasure. That's a big deal. They love to say, hey, good, welcome to Chick-fil-A. And they say it the same way every time. They greet you the same way every time. The sandwich is made the same way every time. One person doesn't put 2 pickles on one and 5 on another. They're made the same way every time, because you can have a big personality, but it's got to be on top of a process that works whether you have a big personality or not. So we've got to double down on the daily success plan, the things we know work. Shiny widgets most of the time don't work. Chasing, internet leads most of the time don't work. Now, they may work for 1 in 1,000, but they don't work for the majority. And what I want to encourage you is, we know making the calls Monday to our agent partners, Tuesday to our Just Ask Tuesday updates, Wednesday to our database, Thursday to our pre-approved and looking. We know that daily success plan works. That process works 9 to 11, Monday through Thursday. And listen, if you're saying, what are you talking about, daily success plan? What are you talking about with, the right activity? Look, we'd love to help you with that. Go to freedomplanningcall.com, freedomplanningcall.com. And then schedule in with Mike or Erica, Blake, one of our great team members that'll literally help you build a 1-year plan and a 90-day strategy and walk you through what a coaching demo looks like and how we can help you in your business. But here's what's critical is that process versus personality. We've got to be doing things the same way every time. Are we answering the phone the same way every time? Are we completing applications the same way every time? Are our loan partners asking for the business the same way every time? Are we calling people the same times every day? Do we have a plan? Do we have a process? And is it producing the desired result? If we'll ask that and get to the bottom of process over personality, we will thrive in 2022. The other question you want to do is this: is it sustainable? Processes have to be simple. They have to be sustainable. They have to produce results that work. And if they do, regardless of what your process is, do it the same way every time. So number 1, mindset. Number 2, progress over perfection. Number 3 is process versus personality or over personality. Here's one that I learned. Number 4 is a big one. And I love it. My dear friend and business partner, Tammy Snyder, always says, Steve's the biggest implementer I know. And I love and appreciate that from you, Tammy, because I love you so much. You're one of the best coaches in the entire world, and founder, just business partner with Carl and myself and Diane here at the Marketing Animals. And I have to just say this, it's such an honor for her to say that about me. But you know what the key to that is number 4, do it now. 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 Not tomorrow. Do it now. I love John Maxwell. He's one of the greatest leadership gurus in the world. And I'll never forget, reading one of his books, probably 10 years ago. I don't remember how long ago it was, but in there it said one of the disciplines he would do is every day he'd say, do it now 50 times a day. He said, because I was trying to learn the power of doing it now, which so many people, it's do it later. Well, the faster I would rather you implement fast than overthink it. I'm a ready, fire, aim kind of guy. And I think it's also a superpower because we don't overthink what needs to be done. We do it now, and then we evaluate. And so number 4 would be do it now. I love it. This year I don't take my kids to school, but I did last year. Steph and I had to rotate this year. But I remember last year, I literally every morning as we're driving to school, I would get in and we had a routine. We'd say our family values, our family creed, and then I'd make them all say, do it now 50 times. And they would die laughing. They're like, Dad, I don't want to say it. My 10, 7, and 5-year-old. And I said, we're going to say it because I want to teach you that things we do is we do it now. Do it now, 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 do it now. That's 10. Now say it 40 more times every day. For the next 30 days, say, do it now. How do I win? How do I have massive success regardless of my environment? I do it now. I'm a massive implementer. You're a massive implementer. We don't overthink. We do what we know has great results. We follow the daily success plan. We know process wins over personality. We know that progress is more important than perfection. We know that we've got the right mindset because we choose and we're going to do it now. Action wins. Action wins. Let me say that again. Action wins, period. I just think that is something that is so important to understand is you got to do it now. Now, one other thing that I learned this year about do it now, and it was so funny. This has really become evident in my life. It's do it till you can who it. Now, this is still number 4, so I'm still on do it now, but let me give this one in honor of probably my best friend, Carl White, which I love. He is so dear to me and he has taught me so many great things. And this one is really a part of what I've learned from Carl. And I know he had a great friend that taught him this, but it is do it till you can who it. And that is a part of do it now. I do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now. Make a few dollars, put it in my pocket, take a few dollars, put it in my business. And I'm going to hire somebody that now does it, because what is being done has to keep being done. But if I can who it and hire the right person that does it now, 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 I can focus on getting more business. I can focus on the A activity that brought me in more business. So we do it now until we can who it out. Do it now till we can who it out. And that is a massive key. Number 4, do it now, do it now, do it now. Do it now till I can who it out so that I can go do more of the A activity that brought in the business and continued to help me grow at an exponential level. So number 1, mindset. 2, progress versus perfection. 3, process over personality. 4, do it now until I can who it out. And number 5 is this: pivot quickly. The good thing about doing it now is when I'm doing it right now, I can actually get in and keep doing it, but I'm also evaluating on a weekly basis. I used to look at numbers every month. Now I look at them every day, certain numbers like file starts, credit reviews. I'm looking at what's on, there's things I'm looking at now every day, but I'm also looking at our key metrics on a weekly basis as well. How many leads are coming in? How many of those leads are completing online applications? How many outbound calls are we making? How many talk tos are we having? How many appointments have been scheduled? How many of those appointments have been kept? And how many people are on the Focus 40? How many of those on the Focus 40 are qualified agents? How much do we have in our current pipeline? Are we closing 1 out of every 4 completed app? What do we have as far as in next month's pipeline? There are things that you should be measuring on a daily basis. How many leads? Literally in my team meeting this morning with my personal production team, we're looking at the lead count. Are we up or down? What's our trajectory for the end of the month? How many of those completed apps? When you're looking at the information daily, you can pivot quickly, which is number 5. Pivot quickly. So I do it now till I can who it out. And then as I'm reviewing the results, I'm pivoting quickly. If you track your numbers, then if I did something that didn't get great results, I can pivot quickly. Hey, if I'm saying something on the phone, like I'll give you an example. One of my BDRs, Tina, was telling me, she said, "Hey, Steve, I switched up my script this week." And I said, "Awesome. Tell me your results." And when she told me the results, I said, "Well, girl, that's awesome." She said, "I know. I made a ton of calls last week. I didn't get much result. I decided to tweak 1, 2, 3 and look at these results." And I told her, I said, "Girl, it doesn't matter my opinion. What matters are the results. If that script worked for you to get all of those appointments, then that's how you pivot quickly." So the challenge is most of us are not measuring what's important. Now, and when you're not measuring it, you can't track the effectiveness of what you're saying, the effectiveness of the call, the effectiveness of what's going on in your organization. Now, there are some things you do, and whether you get the results you keep doing. Let me give you an example. If you're doing Thor's Hammer and I'm reaching out to build my Focus 40 list, which is a list of 40 agents that are actively referring and closing at least 1 transaction every 90 days, that activity has got to be done over time for the next 12 weeks. Regardless of the results, you don't move till 12 weeks is done. Why? Because we have it proven and we know there's a track record of what those results yield. But if I'm doing 1 or 2 things and I can tweak a script or I can tweak what's being done and see instant results, then I pivot. So there are some things you do because it takes time to get done. And most of that is like your consistency in calls, consistency in Just Ask Tuesday update, consistency in database, consistency in pre-approved and looking. And there are other things that you can tweak quicker because they don't take as much to get results, and you would know. And so as we're tracking it, you pivot quickly. So it's mindset, progress over perfection, process over personality. Do it now until I can who it out, and then pivot quickly based on the metrics. And here's the last one is this: don't quit. Don't quit. I was thinking about this earlier. The only people who fail are people who quit. I'll never forget when I got in this business. I was 25 years old. I was dead broke. I had $250,000 in debt. We had just lost about a little over $1 million in partnered properties and real estate with a guy that was just not a great partner and didn't go as we had planned. Jim and I had 4 houses in foreclosure. I was newly married and in major transitioning, getting into the mortgage business, which is 100% commission. And I had no idea the challenge I would have back in the 2002, 2003 timeframe. But here's what's interesting is there was no plan B. And what I knew was that I was called to make a difference in this industry. I knew that this is where I was supposed to be, and this is what I had been created and designed to do. And when I went into it with the right mindset, even though there were dark days, even though there were hard times, even though there were days I had to choose which bill I was going to pay, even though there were days my marriage was strained, our finances were bust, there was nothing in the bank. I'll never forget, there was one time I had to have tires on my truck and somebody gifted me tires. I never asked. Somehow they found out. They must have seen the tread on my truck. And literally, I'll never forget it. Joanna literally took me to a discount tire and she literally bought me tires and never said another word. And I just thought, man, it's the gift where, you're almost speechless. I know that there is a provider. I know that there is a God that will help you walk through this. And I'm just telling you, in your mind, you got to recognize that in your darkest days, you may be coming out of that storm. And so my encouragement to you today, when I wrote the title, I may need to hear this, or I needed to hear this, is don't quit. Only quitters fail. Only quitters fail. You can't fail if you don't quit. And so where you're at, one of the things I was thinking about, and I was sharing with these men on Wednesday, the key to life is this: on number 6, when you don't quit, I'll tell you what helped me was being tethered to the right people. When you're connected with the right brothers and sisters, and you're connected with the right people, with the right mindset, then what happens is, even in your darkest days, you can walk through, because sometimes you don't have the strength to walk. But if you have the strength to stand, you can lean on the people next to you. And I want to encourage you, the reason why I love the Mortgage Marketing Animals, I love the community that we're building. Look, this is an organization that you can lean into. And if you were to say, hey, Steve, I'm already a part of another coaching company. Awesome. Lean into your tribe. If you're a part of another group, lean into your group. If you've got a phenomenal branch, lean into your branch. But what I know is the power of do not quit oftentimes comes from the power of who you're tethered to. Life moves at the speed of relationships. A dear friend of mine taught me that years ago, is that when you want to see your life, tell me your friends and I'll tell you where you're going to be. If you want to see your life, tell me who you're tethered to in dark days, in tough times, in discouraging seasons, in markets like this where the naysayers say down 30 to 50%. I say opportunity as we've never seen it before. Naysayers say you can't grow in this market. I'm seeing loan officers in my branch and my team have best months ever. Be tethered to the right people. Be tethered to people that understand the importance of doing the right activity. The mindset matters. Progress is more important than perfection. That we process versus personality, that we keep doing it now, and then we find people to do it for us. We find and understand the importance of pivoting quickly and recognize that we can't fail unless we quit. So don't quit. And if you don't have a tribe, join us. Go to freedomplanningcall.com, freedomplanningcall.com. Give us some info. We'd love to talk to you about what being a part of a tribe, being a part of a community that can help you looks like. I will tell you this: I am where I am today because of this group, because of the Roberts, the Jens, the Tammys, the Carls, the Dianes, the Natashas, the Laurens, the Kevins, the Mike Kardashians, the Scotty Hudspeths, the Frank Garays, the people that God has brought into my life through this organization is why we are who we are. It's why we're seeing the success we're seeing. And I want to encourage you, find your tribe. Be a part of a group and a community. And together, 2022 doesn't have to be a bust year. I keep hearing people say, hey, would you like to get back to 2020, 2021 levels? How about let's just keep growing past those levels and understanding that we can have our best months ever. And this is what I'm encouraging my team, my branch, my people that are working with me, is that we can make 2022 a year of history. And so I just want to encourage you, join us, freedomplanningcall.com. Get connected to our community. We've got great things, even like the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, and just stay tethered, stay connected, because it doesn't have to be a down year. It doesn't have to be discouraging. So remember, it's the mindset: progress over perfection, process over personality. Do it now until you can who it out. Don't quit. Pivot quickly, and then absolutely whatever you do, do not quit. This was on my heart. Wanted to share it with you. I hope you guys enjoy. Remember, subscribe, review, and share. Share this with 2 other LOs that would be encouraged by this today. And just hear me, from me and Carl and Tammy Diane, our entire crew that works tirelessly. If you knew the amount of hours and the blood and the sweat and the tears and the planning and what it takes to do this for each of you who are a part of our community, I want you to know that we are 100% committed behind you and with you. And we know that we are absolutely better together. Be encouraged. This is what I feel like you needed to hear from my heart to you in this environment. You've got what it takes to absolutely have a breakthrough year in your life. And so remember this, anything worth doing badly, just get started. See ya.